You were not born to be normal. You were not born to blend in. You were born with fire in your chest, but they buried it. School, friends, social media, fake love. They convinced you to play it safe, to be quiet, to shrink. And now you're here, broken, confused, stuck, not because you lack talent, but because you traded power for approval. But I'm here to tell you something they won't. That version of you, soft, scared, lost, it dies today. Because from this moment forward, you don't play nice, you don't fit in, you become a menace. A focused, disciplined, dangerous force. The world's been waiting for your rise. It just doesn't know it yet. Most people live their entire lives chasing comfort. They wake up in warm beds, avoid difficult conversations, eat what feels good, and run from anything that challenges them. They think comfort is happiness, but comfort is the slow poison that kills ambition. The truth is, greatness lives far outside the borders of comfort. Every champion, every savage, every force of nature you admire, they didn't become that way by choosing the easy route. They bled for it, they suffered, they walked straight into the storm while everyone else ran because they knew the truth. Comfort is the enemy. It keeps you soft, slow, and weak. When you're comfortable, you're not growing. You're coasting. And when you coast, you're dying. Slowly, quietly, without even realizing it. That's how the average man is destroyed. Not in a dramatic fall, but in a silent, gradual decay. A little laziness here, a skipped workout there, a few days of procrastination, a few nights of bad food and bad decisions. Suddenly, a year's gone. 5 years, 10, and all you've got to show for it is regret and a mirror you can't even look into. You want to win? Then get uncomfortable. Do the things nobody wants to do. Wake up before the world does. Push your body until it screams. Silence every excuse the moment it shows up. Most people avoid pressure, but the smart ones, the real ones, they walk into it. They understand that diamonds are made under pressure. So why are you running from the very thing that forges power? Because it's hard? Good. That means it's working. That means you're breaking the mold. That means you're finally becoming someone dangerous. Look around you. Society is built to make you comfortable and weak. Convenience is everywhere. Fast food, endless entertainment, mindless scrolling, fake praise, fake validation. You're being sedated. And the worst part, you're doing it to yourself. Every time you choose comfort, you're choosing mediocrity. You're voting against your potential. You're telling the universe, you're not ready to rise, and then you wonder why nothing changes. Discomfort is the tuition you pay to build the life you want. The body you want, pain. The business you want, sacrifice. The respect you want, discipline. Comfort will lie to you. It'll whisper in your ear and say, just take a break. You deserve it. No, you don't. Not yet. You don't get to rest when you've barely started. Rest is earned. You rest at the top. You rest when you've outworked everyone. When your name rings louder than your excuses. Every time you choose the hard path, the workout, the grind, the early morning, the late night, you're putting bricks into a foundation that no one can shake. Every rep, every drop of sweat, every painful decision, it's all part of building your legacy. You're not supposed to feel good during the process. You're supposed to become good because of the process. The suffering is the sharpening. The struggle is the shaping. The discomfort is the becoming. And once you understand that, you'll stop running from it. You'll start chasing it. You'll look in the mirror and no longer see a victim. You'll see a menace, a force, a weapon sharpened by hardship. Not everyone can take that path. Most will tap out. They'll laugh at your intensity, call you obsessed. Let them. Their words don't matter. Only results do. And results come to those who destroy comfort and embrace the grind. The world doesn't hand out rewards for effort. It rewards results. And results only come when you do what others refuse to do. That means waking up when it hurts, showing up when you don't feel like it, doing one more rep when your body says stop. Success is not a mood. It's not something that happens when you feel inspired. It's something that happens when you're relentless, even when you feel like quitting. Especially when you feel like quitting. You think you're working hard? Compare yourself to the man who trains through sickness, through heartbreak, through chaos. The man who doesn't flinch no matter what life throws at him. That's who you're up against. Not the average guy next door. The machine who made pain his companion. The one who made discipline his identity. That man doesn't chase comfort. He chases power. And he becomes unstoppable because of it. Now let's talk about power. Because this world doesn't respect weakness. Doesn't care about your feelings, your excuses, or your dreams if they aren't backed by action. Power is what makes people listen. Power makes people move. Power silences doubt and destroys resistance. And if you want power, you better be ready to earn it. Not with empty talk, not with soft habits, but with dominance. You dominate your schedule. your emotions, your vices. You become a menace not by accident, but by making a decision. I will no longer live like them. I will no longer move like them. I will outwork, outfight, and outlast anyone who stands in my way. Weak people talk, strong people prove. Weak people wish, strong people plan and strike. You need to choose which one you are, and if you're not on the side of strength, you're already behind. The world doesn't hand you power, it dares you to take it. And the moment you start demanding more from yourself than anyone else ever has, that's when the shift happens. That's when you stop being ordinary and start becoming dangerous. But power doesn't come from arrogance, it comes from precision. From knowing who you are and what you're willing to endure. Every time you conquer a weakness, you gain strength. Every time you say no to distractions, you build control. Every time you stay locked in while everyone else is asleep, you gain ground. These are not minor choices. These are acts of war. Against laziness, against weakness, against everything inside of you that wants to settle. Your competition isn't your friend. It's not society. It's the voice in your head that says, maybe later. That voice is your enemy. Silence it with action. Destroy it with discipline. Your only goal should be to become the version of yourself that the world can't ignore. You want influence, be undeniable. You want power, be relentless. Be the type of man who doesn't ask for permission. He takes what's his because he put in the work every day without compromise. The moment you decide to train your mind and body to become dangerous is the moment your life changes forever. Not because of the training itself, but because of what it represents. That you're done being weak, that you're done being a victim of your own laziness, emotions, and excuses. Weakness is not a physical state. It's a mindset. It's in the way you speak, the way you move, the way you hesitate. And the only way to kill that weakness is to become a weapon. Not just physically, but mentally, emotionally, spiritually. You must train every part of yourself until there is no part left vulnerable. The body is your armor, but the mind is the general. You can have muscles, but if your mind folds under pressure, you're still a coward. You can be smart, but if your body is soft, you'll be dominated by someone stronger. So you build both. You sharpen both. You put your body through hell. Early mornings, cold showers, heavy lifts, long runs, not just to look good, but to suffer on purpose. You suffer so you can become immune to suffering. You lift weights not for the mirror, but to carry burdens life throws at you. You push your limits because you know one day life will test you and you refuse to fail that test. Most people think training is just about aesthetics, but training is war. Every time you step into the gym, every time you sweat, bleed, collapse, and rise again, you're preparing for the real world, for betrayal, for loss, for chaos. You're conditioning yourself to stay calm in the storm while everyone else panics. That's what makes you dangerous. It's not just your strength, it's your stability, your composure, the way you move with discipline while others move with emotion. The way you stay locked in when everything around you is trying to pull you off track. If you want to be respected, then become someone who doesn't fold. You want to be feared, then become someone who doesn't flinch. Every rep you push when your body says stop. Every early morning you conquer when your mind says sleep. Every toxic habit you kill before it kills you. You're building a version of yourself that commands attention. You're becoming rare. Because most people can't do that. Most people quit, most people break, but you endure. You build power brick by brick until one day people look at you and they can feel it. The presence, the intensity, the energy of a man who is dangerous because he's disciplined. And once you've trained that mindset, once your body starts reflecting that pain and effort, you stop needing to explain yourself. You walk into a room and your silence says everything. That's the power of presence. That's what happens when you've put in the work while everyone else was sleeping, partying, wasting time. Your results become your proof. Your physique, your posture, your habits, they all speak louder than your words ever could. Talking is cheap. Everyone can talk. Everyone can say they're working, say they're grinding, say they want it. But most of them are bluffing. Most of them are playing a role. They say they're hungry, but they sleep in. They say they're obsessed, but they disappear when it gets hard. They say they're different, but they live just like everyone else. Words mean nothing without the work to back it up. You don't prove yourself through declarations. You prove yourself through demonstration. Want to be taken seriously? Then stop explaining your intentions and start showing your outcomes. Don't post about the gym. Go to the gym. Don't talk about your goals. Dominate your routine so fiercely that people can see your ambition before you say a word. Real ones recognize real effort. They can spot a faker instantly. You don't get respect by asking for it. You get it by earning it when no one is watching. The loudest man in the room is usually the weakest. He's overcompensating. But the man who knows what he's capable of, he doesn't need to raise his voice. His presence speaks volumes. He doesn't beg for approval, he commands it with discipline, with consistency, with the results that silence the noise. If you have to explain why you're a savage, you're not one yet. The real beasts are too busy hunting to explain why they're dangerous. Every second you spend explaining your worth is a second you could have spent becoming more undeniable. People don't need to understand your grind, they just need to feel your impact. Let them gossip, let them question you, let them laugh, because soon they won't have a choice but to respect you. The results will be too loud, the work will be too consistent, the progress will be too obvious. And their words, they'll vanish into silence. You don't win by convincing the world with your words. You win by conquering the world with your example, with your discipline, with your refusal to be average. There's a version of you out there that doesn't need to talk because his life does the talking. His results are his resume. His actions are his argument. That's who you become when you stop explaining and start executing. Don't waste energy trying to prove your intentions to small-minded people. Use that energy to push harder, to train longer, to focus deeper. Every hour you spend defending yourself is an hour lost that could have moved you forward. And you don't have hours to waste. You're not in the game to be liked. You're in it to dominate, to become so sharp, so focused, so ruthless in your pursuit that they either get out of your way or get crushed by your consistency. That's how you separate yourself. That's how you become a threat. Not with noise, not with drama, but with action. Relentless, disciplined, focused action. The kind of action that doesn't ask for applause. The kind that doesn't care about recognition. The kind that wins with or without an audience. Pain is not your enemy, it's your weapon. Most people run from it, numb it, complain about it, blame the world for it. But the ones who rise, the ones who become dangerous, they don't run from pain, they feed off it. They use it as fuel. Because behind every monster is a man who was broken, betrayed, beaten down, and left for dead. But instead of folding, he turned that pain into power. He didn't ask, why me? He said, try me. You see, pain can either destroy you or shape you. The choice is yours. Most people let it break them. You let it build you. You don't learn anything in comfort. You don't grow when everything is easy. You grow when your back is against the wall and there's no one coming to save you. That's when you either fold or you fight. That's when your true character gets exposed. People want strength, but avoid the suffering that creates it. They want greatness, but run from the weight that forges it. But you step into the pain because you know that on the other side of it is the version of yourself that no one can break. You think champions don't feel pain? They feel it every day. But they've mastered it. They've learned to weaponize it. They don't cry about how hard it is, they embrace it. They look at it like a gift. Because pain reveals who's real and who's pretending. When life punches you in the mouth, that's when you find out who you really are. And if you've trained yourself to smile through it, to keep moving, to turn that pain into obsession, then nothing can stop you. Not the setbacks, not the heartbreaks, not the losses. Pain becomes the trigger that pushes you harder, that sharpens your edge, that makes you relentless. That pain you carry, the betrayal, the failure, the embarrassment, the